18Lilliput. The players are directors of railroad companies. They build track, collect money with their locomotives, and potentially pay it out to their shareholders. The game material includes a bunch of cards, money, and the stock price table. There are a lot of square cards, and these are the track tiles. There are also 8 company cards, shares, character cards, trains, and action cards. Each player starts with £30 cash and a company which can be chosen. He receives the 50% director's certificate and the company card, and he places both before himself. The company card comes with 3 station markers of the same color. Another token is put on the field 50 on the stock price table. Below the company card, put a train card with the number 2. Next to it, put £500. This is the treasury for the company and should remain distinct and separate from the player's money. The Mildendo track tile is placed in the middle of the table. Adjacent to the central tile, each player builds a track tile with a city and places a home station there. That's the starting board. Each of the 4 starting companies has a special feature: a second train, a more valuable start city, more private starting capital, or a higher starting share price plus higher treasury. In addition, each player can choose a character card. It offers a special ability and 1 or 2 special additional track tiles. And then everyone gets a Diamond's Land copy card. So now the game can begin. The game goes over 8 rounds. In a 3-player game, 9 rounds. At the beginning of each round, the action cards are laid out. In clockwise order from the start player, each player takes a card and executes an action. Then in reverse player order, a second action card is selected and executed. The selected action cards can no longer be selected by other players in this round, with the exception that the Diamond's Land copy card, you can once in the game copy an already selected action card. The copy card is then removed from the game. What can you do with these action cards? Each card shows 2 actions, of which only 1 may be executed. First we have building track tiles. Initially, only the yellow track tiles are available. Green and brown will come into play later. For example, you may use this action to build 2 yellow track tiles. But you can't lay them wherever you want. You must continue track from one of your station markers. It's also important in the checkerboard pattern rule. Track tiles with a city and without a city must always alternate. Mildendo is also considered a city, but is exempt from this rule. When the game continues, green track tiles come into play, and even later brown tiles are available. The tiles are only for replacement. You can replace a yellow tile with a green one, and later on a brown can replace a green. It's important that all existing track has to be preserved. Another action is building station markers. For this, you may place one of your station markers in a city on the board. The company pays the imprinted costs out of treasury. Then you're allowed to place it along your route on a free city circle. You need stations to run your trains, and they block the tracks of other players. More about that later. The next action is train buying. The trains are sorted in a stack. First there are 2 trains, then the 3 trains, then the 4s, and etc. You have to buy them in order. The train cards are put below the company charter when they are purchased by a company. The number indicates how many cities you may travel to with your new train. With a 2 train, you are allowed to run your train between 2 cities. You only drive virtually. There are no real train tokens that you push back and forth. With a 4 locomotive, you can run up to 4 cities. A train may not skip a city, and there must be at least 1 station marker on each route that a train runs. If a company runs several trains, each train has to run on a different route. When the first train of a new type is bought, some changes occur. With the first 3 train, green track tiles are available. With the first 4 train, all 2 trains are obsolete. The card would be turned. This means that their earnings are halved, and the train limit drops to 3. So far, a company could possess a maximum of 4 trains. From now on, only 3. With the first 5 train, all 2 trains are scrapped. That is, they go out of the game without any substitution, and there are brown track tile cards available. And the train limit drops to 2. With the first 3D train purchase, 3 trains are obsolete. The train cards are turned around and income is divided in half. When the first 4D train is bought, 4 trains are obsolete, and the 3 trains are out of the game. Now we come to the next action, buying and selling shares. This allows you to buy exactly 1 10% share of one company, yours or of another player. You pay the current market value from your private assets to the bank. Before you can sell any number of shares, you return the shares to the bank and receive the current market value from the bank. When selling shares, the price changes and falls by one field. With this card, you can also start a new company once per game. Choose any available 50% director's share, choose any price, and pay it 5 times to the bank. Then you get the company charter, train station tokens, and treasury, which is 10 times the market value. The home station is set to any free space on a city tile. In addition, you can immediately buy a train from the stack on the train pool, which will be explained later. Then there are actions that bring money into the private assets of treasuries of companies. After each player has carried out 2 actions, all companies run their trains. In this example, the green company runs the 3 train for £80 and the 4 train for £90, for a total of £170. This amount can be distributed between the shareholders. In this case, the director would give 50%, that's £85. A player who owns 10% will receive £17. If it is distributed, the share price increases by 1 space to the right. Alternately, the company can retain the entire earnings. The share price drops, and the company may immediately buy a train from the train pool. A D train doubles the income. A 3D runs to 3 cities, their values are counted twice. The last phase of a round is bureaucracy. The next available train from the train stack goes to the train pool. In the train pool, all redundant trains are collected. The start player card then continues in a clockwise direction. All action cards are returned to the middle of the table, and the turn marker moves 1 space. After 8 rounds, the game is over. In the last round, the entry result is doubled and must be paid out in any case. The price marker then is also increased by 2 fields. All players count their cash and add the value of all their shares. An unused Diamond's Land copy card is also worth £20. The richest player is the winner.